Good evening and welcome to another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. Today is November the 25th, 2019. Our scene will take place outside of Ekta's residence. We have Alvaro and Ekta today for a social. Okay. He will be outside after about 10-15 minutes, smoking a cigarette.
And Ekta is going to be waiting kind of out in the front yard, right outside of Uden's castle. And she is basically going to as soon as she sees Alvaro, she's just going to run up and just hug him because she doesn't know what else to do.
You will let her. He seems a little caught off guard at first and then hug her back. Are you okay?
I don't know what I just saw.
Want to sit and talk?
Please.
Okay.
There's a bench over here.
You will kind of pick her up while holding the hug and walk over to it with her.
She's gonna let this happen.
He will sit down, sit her down, and then sit next to her. Deep breath.
Apparently, the certain sects of the will workers have joined together to create a wonderful wonder. I mean, it can take and pull the latent energies from several dimensions and give us the energy that we need to actually work, to actually do our work. There is a specific will worker here who wants to turn this thing into a weapon.
Use the energy to make it explode or something?
Oh, no, worse than that. It has a few... It has a few defenses. If someone with a rival worldview takes and taps into this, it will create a feedback loop, an energetic feedback loop, and will burn out the mage.
Looks a little shocked.
Depending upon the strength of that mage's Atman, it will destroy the Atman, that which is eternal within it.
Altman?
The constant companion that I spoke of.
And that will cease you from being able to work wonders?
It will. What they are talking about is taking and pointing it in a random, well, not a random location, but they're planning on taking and pointing it at this Templar who has done some really horrific things. Okay, I'm not denying that he needs to be dealt with. I'm really not denying he needs to be dealt with. But you can't point it at the church and completely and totally obliterate his Atman. I don't know that he is Naraka. Aaron is talking about doing this without so much as even a trial. Just, he wants to kill us. He wants to put us back on the wheel. So why don't we just destroy what makes him a mage and destroy a piece of the infinite while we're at it?
Would that be better than death, or no, I take?
It would be kinder for me to separate his head from his body. Without that Atman, we don't really know how to do anything. We breathe, we see, we eat, we work, but there's no soul there.
It takes souls?
It kills them. It kills souls. That which is eternal, that which goes back into the cycle.
Are your people going to have some sort of vote on this, or?
I'm hopeful. The problem is that the virtual adepts are the ones who had a large hand in making this. So it is largely within their purview. However, this particular mage does not have access to all of his emotions. He has no concept. He has no concept of compassion. He has no concept of forgiveness. He just is paranoid and is angry.
Do you know that for certain, or does it just seem that way?
He has stated it, and the spirit who has entered into a contract with him has stated it.
Interesting. So he's made a contract with a spirit.
Yes. The spirit chose him, not the other way around, I believe.
So contract implies willingness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are your options, you think?
I have got to draw the Templar Carl out to speak with him. There is no, it's not up for debate. It's not up for discussion. I have some concerns because the chorister who's going with me is not even fully recovered from surgery. She was in a wheelchair the time before, at Samhain, and then she comes in to this grand opening for this wonder that is not really meant to be a weapon. It was not built to be a weapon. And she's walking with a cane.
Sounds foolish. So she's going with you, and
She is
anyone else?
going, um, a Kalis maybe. Um, I'm not even entirely sure. Um,
Are you still thinking you're going to draw him out like we discussed?
I think that between Samantha and I, we can create enough ruckus right outside of his church to bring him out.
And if he doesn't,
If he doesn't, then I suppose there are other ways to tempt him.
what were you thinking?
Do the one thing that he told us not to on pain of death.
Go onto his property?
Yep. I don't know what else to do.
I don't think you should do that.
Probably not.
What do you know about him so far? Have you learned anything else since we discussed last?
I have learned that he remembers every single one of his lives.
That is impressive.
I know that in every single one of them, he has been a raging, convert them by the sword bigot. In every single one of them. He has fought in every single crusade.
Knowing that, I sincerely advise not having you be the one to go lure him out. Can you fight?
I'm an intra-tradition diplomat.
Not a good idea. If Plan A does not work, and you want to lure him out, and he comes out, do you think he would be willing to talk after you've already done what he said not to?
Probably not. I'm a little bit at a loss, though. Because if I don't get him out, then while he won't die, he may as well be dead. Him and potentially so many others who have the potential to awaken.
Here is what I think he will do. He doesn't come out. He's not going to try to kill you right then and there. Too messy, too many witnesses will get him nowhere. He's going to try to get you outside of that. Or work some kind of will from a distance. My concern is that he will take one person going onto his property as all of you doing it. But I guess it makes the situation no less worse, considering he already wants to kill all of you.
He came into a friendly gathering and beat the thunder out of a member of his own faith, excommunicated him, and took his church.
Mhm.
If he is willing to do that on neutral ground, I'm not saying that that the Templar does not need to be dealt with. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that without there being hard evidence that he has fallen, the collateral damage is too great. And to do this without even as much as a trial is absurd.
Do you know people who could see a trial would happen? I assume you mean for your people, not the actual like authorities and whatnot.
Right, no. Um we do have a council. We do have a council here. I just don't know.
Try plan A. If plan A does not succeed, one way or the other, you pick a day, we try plan B. We try plan B, I will go into the church and I will try to get him to come out. If plan A failed because he didn't come out the first time, try diplomacy. If plan A failed because diplomacy failed, kill him.
Understand, I have no problem with killing him. It's a nuclear warhead, though.
That issue is still going to be around after he is gone.
Yes. I just don't necessarily want I just don't want to see it turned loose. And if there's something I can do to stop it from being turned loose this time, then I can't go borrowing tomorrow's problems.
Good way to look at it.
I have this problem in front of me.
So we have plan A, we have plan B.
Yes.
Okay. Plan A is the diplomat. Plan B is lure him out to possibly talk if he doesn't come, or kill him.
Yes.
When you go to do plan B, regardless of when it is, I will go in and try to get him out.
Are you wanting to come and watch Plan A?
I'm going to watch from a distance, and if I don't see any sign of diplomacy working, then I will help. If he starts getting rowdy, I will help anyway.
He's not known for patience.
Then I will be watching closely.
I mean, the first time I've ever seen this man, he barged into a neutral gathering, beat the snot out of Friar Leonard, excommunicated him, and took his church. Now, the excommunication and taking the church is more of an internal affair. Coming into a place that is pretty much, well, was supposed to be a gathering where people could, come and peacefully speak their mind and, get caught up on everything. He goes and he beats the snot out of this poor friar. And that's the first thing he does.
We will handle it. So if Plan B has to happen, the cripple leave, and you leave. Now, if he wants to talk after I get him to come out, then you can come back. But if not, go from there.
I just wish the stakes weren't so high this time.
It sounds like the people are level-headed enough to where they won't start shooting this thing off willy-nilly, as it were. So they could be higher.
They could be higher. Very easily they could be higher.
Have you considered going? I assume there's a council outside of this council or something bigger. It sounds like there are different sects and whatnot.
The council is the Council of Nine.
Maybe report it to them and ask them for some kind of liberation on it. Maybe a plan C while you're doing plan A or B.
It's already an intertradition matter. The one going with me is not like me. She is like me, but she has a different practice than me.
Stupidity?
Mm-hmm.
Stupidity?
No, not stupidity. She's actually a very sweet young woman. But she but her practice is different than mine. And so it's already an intra-tradition issue. There were many traditions that had their hands in building this wonder. So whatever happens already has to go through everyone. It has to go through a good chunk of them.
I assume they're not monotheistic as you are?
No. Samantha is. Most of them are pagan.
Plan C could be telling the Samantha's people of this thing, perhaps tie it up in red tape.
Well, I mean, I've even given half-hearted thoughts of trying to find the weak points in this thing. But that does nothing to stop the idea.
No.
Or the knowledge.
They could probably just rebuild it and kill you for hurting it.
Yeah, that's pretty much So that ended up, that was maybe a 3-second thought.
Well, At least you're thinking.
Yeah?
These things are working.
No, the only way to handle this is to try and get that Templar to come down off his high horse, and good luck with that. With a fanatic, trying to get them to budge even an inch is nigh unto impossible. And I fully understand that war is just diplomacy carried out by other means.
Yes.
But if we do not find a way to sit him down and talk with him, then this could have lasting and dire consequences.
It sounds like something that should not be used at all.
The more I think about it, the more I see your point.
It targets particular belief, you said?
Yeah, you point it in a direction, target a specific belief, and it goes off. And it will burn it out. You don't even have to access it. I mean, as a defense mechanism, someone made a conscious choice to try and access something that, they didn't, that's a conscious decision. But to point it at something, calibrate it, and then burn out everything magical within that area with that paradigm is beyond belief. I mean, well, I can believe that it exists. And it's what it actually does is good. It being weaponized does not need to happen. Because they are, what this virtual adept Aaron is wanting to do is he's wanting to take something that is part of its defense mechanism and turn it into an offensive nuclear warhead.
That's usually how that goes. But stressing will not help you. So, plan A, same as before.
And then if that doesn't work, plan B.
Plan B. Plan B can vary.
I will let you know. I'll let you know whenever we're headed out.
I will be there.
As soon as I know when I am being called into action, I will shoot you a text message. Tell you where it'll be.
Okay.
Because this should have never been brought into existence. I mean, I really need to see the Akashiyana, but I don't think that they'd be real happy with an Yamavani just going up into their, onto their property, knocking and being like, "Hi, I need your help."
It seems like a big enough issue where anything can be put aside to discuss it.
While we have peace now, we don't exactly trust one another. The Akashiana and the Nyamavani. We were at war at one point in time for 500 years.
Oh.
And some of those cuts run deep. I don't even want to think about what would happen if someone had discovered this or created this during that particular war. It would have obliterated too many people.
I'm concerned about these fanatics getting a hold of it.
That is reasonable.
It's all the more reason they should be dealt with sooner than later. But plan A, plan B.
Yep.
Keep thinking on a plan C.
I certainly will. I've probably kept you too long. I just wanted to let you know what was going on.
I do not mind.
I mean, this is huge.
Nuclear warheads often are, as far as what they can do.
Yes.
And this is about, if you're describing correct, about the same, if not worse.
Yeah. Because at least with a nuclear warhead, you send them back on the wheel. This, you don't get back on the wheel.
I mean, you could after, but yeah.
There's nothing to get back on the wheel. It's like a soul nuke.
I'm not fond of that.
Neither am I. It almost feels like that this is beyond even Shiva's realm. Speaking of which, your friend,
Mm-hmm.
the one who follows the Egyptians,
Oh, yes. He worships Anubis.
I believe that his god might be interested in this. Because if I am not mistaken, the only one who really has jurisdiction over any type of soul destruction is Anubis if someone's soul is not as light as a feather. I believe.
I will let him know. And would you like to meet him, if so?
I would if he is amenable to that.
I will find him and speak to him then.
Because I believe that he could be a voice of reason.
That's a fair assumption. I don't know if he's ever talked to the. He was trying to make contact, but I don't know if he has yet or not. But I will ask him, and I'll give him your phone number and have him contact you, or find a way to bring him to you.
I would appreciate that. Thank you, Alvaro.
No problem. No problem. He will give her a hug.
Oh, she's going to return it in spades.
A rubber bag. Try not to stress.
I will do my best.
It will work out. It may not be nice, but it will work out.
Fate has a way of doing that. I just need to not be quite as attached to the outcomes, whatever they may be. Oh, but that one's hard.
No, it's when soul destruction is on the table, it's often a little more than messy.
Oh, yeah. I don't imagine that any of the wraiths would be really happy with it.
Probably not. I'm not sure how that would affect them.
Neither am I. This thing is untested.
Yeah, I will look into a few things on that end.
I would appreciate it. Any help.
He will pick her back up as he had before and walk her back to the, I guess, the fence or whatever is around this property, and stand her on her feet.
Thank you again.
Again, no problem. I will will go talk to my friend, and then I will look into other things. Keep me in the loop on when you're planning to do everything. When you're
I
gonna
certainly will.
Okay. You will take her hand and give it a kiss, and then saunter on off.
She's gonna wave it by after him.
You wave and start smoking another cigarette. Just gotta get that in now.
With an eye roll.
Ready. Okay.
Unseen.
Yeah. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and have a good night.